Yesterday I watched this video and you may have watched it as well. It is about using Gemini and the Google API. He gets the Python script from the AI, he pastes it straight into the Blender part because in Blender you can make scripts and then you can run the scripts, and he realized that that's really interesting to have like a voice interface that actually generates whatever he says or asks inside of Blender just using scripts.
Even if I want to. Okay, so automated AI test number 1, let's go. Okay, great. Can you make the ground plane a little bit bigger? It seems that you made the area light bigger. I was thinking you could select the ground plane you added and then make that bigger. Okay, perfect.
Let me find a better example. As you can see, it's quite cool to see. It's not too useful just yet because you can see he's using TinyTask to record him copying and pasting it and clicking on run. And he said, and a lot of people agreed, that this is really cool and it would be cool to have a proper integration into Blender for this. So I got to work. Just this evening, a day after watching this, I decided to make it on Christmas. Not that I have enough other stuff to do, okay, but I got ADHD. So essentially, this is what I made. It's quite large. What did I spend my time on? So you have a few files. Let me just take you through what I can do. I'll just showcase it to you. First, I had to overcome the goal of getting the code inside of Blender through a script. Now what I did is I made a Blender plugin called Auto Execute. And basically you can turn on or off listening mode, and it'll basically check the file that this Blender project is inside of for a Python script called to execute, and it'll check if this script has been updated since the last time it executed the script that was inside of this. So basically, if I enable listening mode, I edit the contents of what is inside of here. Like I can print something and I save it. It will execute that, but I don't know how to show that. But it will execute that because it notices that it's been changed or it's been modified. So that's how I overcame that. It was really hard to just directly push a script inside of Blender. This thing just watches for changes and then does it itself. So this one works with the ChatGPT 4o Mini from OpenAI, and it does require an API key, and it's really cheap because it's 4o Mini. It's barely, like, I've been using this for ever since I've been using the API. I've only spent 4 cents and I've used it quite a bit. I made a lot of tools with it. So I'm just going to show you now. First, you select your Blender file. Then it basically automatically loads the API key from a text file in the script file folder, and then you can just start saying something. You can click start recording and you can say something, and it'll basically use a package. It doesn't use an API key, but it uses some Python package to basically do text to speech or no speech to text, which saves a lot of API tokens or ChatGPT tokens because they have a module for that as well. Please make a very big floor for my scene and put a house on it. Now let's generate it. There we go. Now please be aware, because the video I just showed you, you probably saw the video as well. He asked it to make a monkey. Now I don't know if anyone misunderstood that, but monkeys are just a thing, pre-made mesh inside of Blender. So you can just, this is that exact monkey. So that's not too impressive to do. What I did here is making a house. This actually requires some kind of reasoning, and it got somewhere. It's a bit janky, but okay. Yeah, so you can do all of the simple stuff, like the same thing that he did. Make a sphere inside of the scene and make it rotate around the house, but make sure it's kind of distant from the house, like maybe make it 2 meters away from the house, and make it rotate around a circle around the house constantly at 2 meter distance. Make it like an animation and make it go like make it visible, the animation. Okay, let's generate it. Oh, where's the floor? Oh my god, if somebody watching this can continue on the legacy and make a proper animation using AI, I would be very impressed because, oh, so he joined the house and roof into a single object. He added a sphere called rotating sphere that rotates around the house at a distance of 2 meters. Okay, yeah, so how it works is it creates notes. It's very annoying because the AI, the raw output is, it has like a, how do I explain this? It basically has these annoying lines that basically make the script that it makes it look good inside of the ChatGPT webpage. But for me, that only causes syntax errors, so I had to filter that out. So I decided to also add a filter, end of code, note below, so I could add a note below the code. And that note is then saved inside of context.txt. And all of these notes basically remind it of existing objects. So it refers to the correct objects and what are those objects and why are they there. Because I had the issue that the AI doesn't really know what it's doing. And yeah. Okay, so maybe we can try and fix this, okay? Previously, you made the sphere rotate, but the sphere itself is at a fixed location. It's just rotating around its own axis. I wanted to rotate around the house. So maybe you can set the origin to the 3D marker or to the completed house, or complete house actually, and then make it rotate around that in some way. Do you know what I mean? Oh, yep, we got it. Oh, no, we don't. All right, well, check the description for the code and bye-bye.